So this is from an email from my dad, Jack Lutkemeier. Okay, dear Julie, I hear from Mom and others that you are getting enlightened on your ancestors on the Fry side of the family, so I thought I would throw in a few words on my side of the family. The first name that comes to mind is the Lemoynes. My grandmother, Granny Lemoyne, whose real name was Romaine Lemoyne, was the real matriarch when I was growing up. Her father's name was John Valcoulon Lemoyne, and his father was Francis Julius Lemoyne. They were from Washington, Pennsylvania, and you may want to start there. I miss you, XO Dad. I've heard these names, some of them. I mean, Francis Julius I've heard of. There was some belief in our family, it's family lore, that Francis Julius or Julius Francis Lemoyne was some kind of a doctor and that he may or may not have been a stop on the Underground Railroad. Now, I never looked into it because I liked the story so much. I wanted to hold on to it. I didn't want to find out it was wrong and he actually was like a slaver or something. I liked that story, so I've always just thought, that's nice. That's nice to believe in that. But I don't know anything about him. Since my dad's email said that they were from Washington, Pennsylvania, that's where I'm headed next.
So we are at the Washington Historical Society, which is located in Francis Lemoyne's house.
Oh, okay.
So you are sitting in the apothecary right here. We know that he was a physician, a surgeon. And so this would have been a central place for him.
He lived here, and they worked in the house where they lived. Wow.
And the Historical Society, which is housed here, has a lot of documents about your family and about Francis Lemoyne. And some of them are extremely old and fragile, and we'll get a chance to, that's why we have gloves sitting out here. So I'll ask you to put some gloves on. This is the first document I'd like you to look at.
The American Anti-Slavery Society Commission to Dr. Francis J. Lemoyne, my 3 times great-grandfather. Dear Sir, you have been appointed and are hereby commissioned by Executive Committee of the American Anti-Slavery Society, instituted in Philadelphia in 1833, as their agent for the space of 12 months, commencing with the 20th day of December, 1837. Oh my gosh, he was an abolitionist.
So yeah, so tell me, what do you know? Do you know anything about the American Anti-Slavery Society?
No, I never knew there was a society.
There was a society, and it was actually the first national society for ending slavery. So people had been thinking about ending slavery for a long time, but by the 1830s, we have this group, and Francis Lemoyne.
So these were early days of it?
These were the very early days, the first few years.
Oh, really?
Francis Lemoyne signed up, and he signed up as an agent, as a lecturer. They had to focus on talking about ending slavery immediately, not compensating slave owners, boycotting goods that came from the South, like cotton, sugar. He signed petitions, he forwarded pamphlets about ending slavery to people. So these were the things that anti-slavery activists, and we can count Francis Lemoyne, at least as one of these folks connected to the American Anti-Slavery Society, as committed to this cause. So it would have been his job to lecture about it in the South and in the North.
In the South. He'd have to travel around and do that?
Well, not everybody was that brave, but he was.
He was?
We know that he did make trips to the South.
And that had to have been a dangerous proposition. I mean, this is 1837. So this is 28 years away from the actual abolition of slavery. So this is radical and dangerous. Wow.
one of the things we need to understand about abolitionists is that most of the time it came from within.
And would he do it on his own? I mean, did you get on the horse and go? Or did you go with a bunch of people?
When he went south, or if he was touring in the north as well, usually you didn't go alone because they understood the tremendous risk they were taking. People were tarred and feathered. People were burned to death for simply speaking against slavery.
That's unbelievable.
The Historical Society has oral histories, and so I pulled a couple for you to look at that give you an idea about what the townspeople were saying about Francis Lemoyne. So let's pass this
Oh my gosh.
over to you.
For a long time, the abolitionists did not dare to hold their meetings in any public places. One of the most popular places to hold them was the side yard of the Lemoyne place. This was the most natural place for them as the lecturers were entertained by Dr. and Mrs. Lemoyne. On one occasion, a large crowd gathered in a threatening manner in front of the house. The abolitionists were gathered in the garden. Dr. Lemoyne took his son, John. Oh my gosh, I named one of my kids John after this side of the family, to the little balcony, which used to be reached from the attic on the front of the house. Here, Dr. John Julius Lemoyne, who's John?
So John Julius Lemoyne was Francis's father.
His father, and they're both doctors. Dr. John Julius Lemoyne, my 4 times great-grandfather,
Exactly.
kept his beehives under the front eaves. Oh my God, I love these people. In this particular evening, Dr. Lemoyne told his son, young John, if these people try to break up the meeting, just throw one of these beehives into their midst. Oh my God.
Yeah.
The young man had the advantage, and angry though they were, the crowd was forced to disperse. So he did, he threw the hive.